This video is brought to you by Sim Racing Centre. Today, we're going to be showing you the fastest way around the Spa-Francorchamps Circuit, the Belgian Grand Prix, an iconic track, and let's dive into it with a hot lap sent over from the Sim Racing Centre. Now, notice you get the car all the way to the right to set up the lap and get the best possible exit you can down the start-finish straight, heading down into turn 1 of La Source, braking at the 100-meter board. Get it tucked in on the apex, but don't cut the curb too much on the inside. Use all the curb on the outside, but don't go over that orange sausage curb. Now down the hill into this iconic Eau Rouge Radian section, back up the hill, over to the left, and it's now completely flat out all the way down the Kemmel straight in towards Le Combe. A time to reflect on what you have done on the lap so far. But now you're getting onto the brakes of the 50-meter board. Take a little bit of curb on the inside of the first part, a lot of curb on the second part, and a lot of curb on the third part. Again, 6th gear on the exit of the last part of Le Combe. Now down to Rivage. Use the curb on the left-hand side. Get down to 4th gear. Hug the apex as much as you can. Short shift to 5th. Get the car back over to the right for no-name corner, and then back up into 6th gear as you exit down the hill now in towards Pouon. Full commitment into this corner. No need to brake, just to lift off the throttle in 7th gear and then hug it tightly on the exit down in towards the right-left chicane. I believe this is Malmedy, but correct me if I'm wrong. 6th gear through there on the exit, then heading down into Stavolo on the brakes, down to 4th gear. Hug the curb as much as you can. Use all the extra curb as well. Short shift to 5th, into 6th now, and then onto this long winding section. Another great opportunity to overtake your rival come race day. Through the first part of the left, it's an easy corner. Through the second part, again, easy flat out, but you have to make sure you get the right line, not to go wide, especially in the wet there. Braking at the 100-meter board for the bus stop chicane. Get it dropped down into 4th gear, and then through the left, little dab of the brake. Once again, back on the throttle. DRS open, and that is a lap of Spa-Francorchamps. Should we break that out again? Yeah, let's do it. Right. Get the car all the way to the left, all the way to the right, as I said, and really cut back on yourself to get the maximum run across the line. Getting down now into the first corner, and this is where you're going to want to brake. Just here, just before the 100-meter board. Dab it on the brakes, down all the way through the gears into 4th gear at the apex. Don't cut that curb though, because you will unsettle the car, but use all the curb on the exit. Like I said, don't go over the sausage curb as well. Now it's completely flat out all the way into Le Combe, so use as much curb on the inside, touch it a little bit on the right, but use it all again on the left-hand side to really straight line across the Eau Rouge Radion section. And then DRS open, of course, and down the Kemmel straight. A great opportunity to overtake down here. And then on the brakes, but use all the curb on the left-hand side. And as you can see, braking just before the 50-meter brake marker board as you go down in towards the Le Combe section and get the car through the right using a little bit of curb. Use it all on the left. Lift off through there. No real need to brake. And then use all the curb on the right-hand side as well. Heading down in towards Rivage. As you can see, the car getting again over to the left, using all the curb on the entry to maximize your speed through the corner. Braking here, just where the curb starts, but then down into 4th and really hug the apex. Are short shifting up into 5th once again. Get the car over to the right. A little dab of brake through no-name corner. Doesn't need that much more than that. Keep it in 5th gear. Short shift to 6th on the apex. And then back on the throttle. Heading down in towards Pouon now. Now, there's no need to brake through this corner, as I'm just showcasing that it's complete lift. No need to press the brakes. Just a lift down into 7th gear. And then back on the throttle. And as you can see, keep the car on the left-hand side to minimize the amount, or the shortest route, really, through the corner. Braking here now for the next corner. 50-meter board. You'll be arriving in 8th gear. You want to get it down through the gears and really send it now through this next chicane, getting it down into 5th gear. Touch the apex on the inside. Use the curb again on the left-hand side. Short shifting into 6th and braking just before the curb starts for the right-hander of Stavolo, arriving at 6th gear. And then you want to be dropping it down into 4th, I believe, through the right-hander. Don't cut too much of the curb. Short shift to 5th, but use all the curb on exit. And then foot to the floor. It's an easy corner through there. If you don't get the correct line, you turn in too late or too early, you can get drawn out wide and into the barrier. You, of course, don't want to do that. So just practice making sure you get the right line through that corner. Then again through here, just make sure you practice getting the right line. It's quite easy to do once you've got the hang of it. But if you are a beginner, I can understand where you might mess up a few times. Now coming down into the bus stop chicane. hard on the brakes at the 100-meter board, and then heading down into this tricky chicane. A good overtaking spot, but get it down into 4th gear, meet the apex on the right, and then a little dab of brakes. Not too much, but just a little dab of brakes to not overextend this corner and run out wide. 4th gear again, but on the throttle, down to the line, and that is a lap of the Spa-Francorchamps Circuit. Before we get into the setup, though, that's going to make you go even faster, let's have a little word of our sponsors, Sim Racing Centre. Sim Racing Centre offers the best and latest F1 22 league racing setups to make sure your car is running as fast as it can. Combined with the race preparations they sell, which shows tyre, data, the best strategy, and a lot more to ensure you will slap the competition and be on top of your game. With these products, all you need to do is focus on your driving. If that's something you struggle with though, get a one-to-one coaching session with esports or esport academy drivers. Sim Racing Centre also offers race engineers like you have seen on the league racing series that I run on this channel, who will help you live during the race with your best strategy. Now, this is a company that I use for all of my setups. When it comes to setting up the car, I'm absolutely clueless. So these guys point me in the right direction to go as fast as I possibly can. And if you want to stay up to date with the best setups, make sure you use the code Hayden at checkout for 10% off. Here we go then, the setup that's going to make you go even faster than your friends around this circuit, starting off with the aerodynamics. 12 on the front wing, 10 on the rear. There's a lot of high-speed corners around this circuit, but there is an incredible amount of flat-out, fast, overtaking opportunities. So you want low aero to maximize your straight line speed, give you the best opportunity to overtake your rival. Moving on to the transmission, and we're gonna go for 60 on the on throttle, 51 on the off. As you can see, usually we're going for a lot less differential to minimize the rear wheel spin and get you a lot more traction out of the corners. Suspension geometry, same as usual on this one, all the way to the right on the camber, all the way to the left on the toe, and then moving on to the suspension now, and that is going to be slightly different. 7 on the front suspension, 2 on the rear suspension, 6 on the front anti-roll bar, 1 on the rear anti-roll bar, and then 7 on the front ride height, and then we're going to go with 4 on the rear ride height. Moving over to the brakes, nothing is going to change on this one, same as usual, 100% on the brake pressure, 50% on the brake bias. As for tyres, slight change this time around, as we're going to go for 24.5 on the front pressures, but same as usual with 23 on the rear tyre pressures. And that is going to be the setup that is going to make you go even faster around this circuit, and hopefully go and beat your friends as well. Big thank you to Sim Racing Centre for sending over the Hotlap, the setup, and of course for sponsoring this video. And if you want to get 10% off at checkout, make sure you use the code Hayden for that. If you enjoy this sort of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.